What if I told you Rapunzel's story doesn't end with happily ever after? The original tale includes betrayal, blindness, and exile, a desperate father, a powerful sorceress, and a girl taken as payment. This is the real story of Rapunzel, before Disney changed it forever. Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by dense forests and winding streams, there lived a man and a woman who longed for a child. They prayed and waited for many years, dreaming of the day they could hold a baby in their arms. When the woman finally became pregnant, she developed a very strange and insistent craving. She longed for a special plant called Rapunzel, a green leafy herb that grew only in the garden of a powerful and fearsome sorceress who lived deep in the forest. The husband worried about the dangers of entering the sorceress's garden, but he could not ignore his wife's desperate wish. Night after night, he thought of ways to sneak into the garden without being caught. Finally, under the cover of darkness, he tiptoed through the forest. The wind whispered through the trees, and the moonlight glimmered on the leaves. With careful hands, he plucked the delicate Rapunzel plant, feeling a mixture of fear and hope. But as he turned to leave, the sorceress appeared from the shadows. Her eyes gleamed like cold embers, and her voice cut through the night.
You dare take from my garden! When your child is born, she will be mine.
The man trembled and hurried home, knowing he could not escape her promise. The wife never knew the full danger, only that the plant had arrived safely. Months passed, and the child was born, a girl of extraordinary beauty. The sorceress came that very night and took the newborn from her crib. The girl was carried through dark forests and up steep hills to a tower so high it touched the clouds, with no doors and only a single tiny window at the top. The sorceress named the girl Rapunzel. The parents were left heartbroken and powerless, mourning the loss of their daughter. In the tower, Rapunzel grew into a bright, curious child. She had golden hair so long that it could be lowered from the window to reach the ground, shining in the sunlight like threads of spun gold. The sorceress was strict. She instructed Rapunzel.
You will never leave this tower. Your life is mine to shape, and I will protect you from the dangers of the outside world.
Rapunzel spent her days exploring the small corners of the tower, singing, gazing out the tiny window, and dreaming of the world beyond. One day, a prince wandered through the forest. He had been hunting in the woods near the tower when he heard the most enchanting singing he had ever heard. He followed the song, stepping softly over roots and rocks until he reached the base of the tall tower. There, he saw the sorceress climbing Rapunzel's hair, and for the first time, he glimpsed the golden strands cascading like a waterfall. Fascinated, the prince returned that night. In a low, gentle voice, he called up to Rapunzel.
Rapunzel, let down your hair. I want to see you and speak with you.
At first, Rapunzel was startled. She had never seen anyone like him before. Slowly, she let down her golden hair. When he reached the window, they introduced themselves. He told her tales of the world beyond the forest, of kingdoms, rivers, and mountains. She shared her own stories of the tower, her songs, and her dreams. Night after night, the prince returned to Rapunzel. Each evening, as the sun dipped behind the forest, he would climb her golden hair and sit with her at the window. You have been locked away too long. The world is vast and beautiful. One day, you must see it with your own eyes. Love blossomed slowly between them. They made a secret plan. One day, the prince would help her escape from the tower so they could live freely together. But the sorceress soon discovered the secret visits. One evening, she confronted Rapunzel. In a fit of rage, the sorceress cut Rapunzel's golden hair with sharp scissors. Then she took Rapunzel to a distant forest, far from the tower and the prince. When the prince arrived that night, he found only the cut hair hanging from the window. In his grief, he fell from the tower and plunged into the thorny bushes below. The thorns blinded him, and he wandered through the forest, blind, lost, and heartbroken.
Rapunzel, Where are you?
Rapunzel, alone in the forest, faced hunger, cold nights, and fear. Years passed, and one day she heard the prince calling her name, weak but determined. She ran toward the voice.
Rapunzel, is it truly you?
When she reached him, tears streamed down her face. She pressed her hands to his eyes. The warmth of her touch and the love between them restored his sight. With the prince's sight restored, they returned together to Rapunzel's parents. Her parents, who had mourned her loss for years, were overjoyed to see their daughter alive and well. Rapunzel and the prince married, celebrating their love with a grand feast in the village. Rapunzel would often stand by the window of her new home, looking at the forests she had once longed to explore, finally free. And they lived happily ever after. And that was the original story of Rapunzel, as written by the brothers Grimm. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe for more timeless fairy tales.